Day 2 of the U.S. Open gets underway. Now the 32-year-old Venus Williams celebrated her birthday back in June. As we said, makes her home up in Palm Beach Gardens, just north of Miami. Used to share the home with sister Serena, but Serena has jettisoned for an apartment in Paris, where she says she feels she needs a little time away. And suddenly the sisters, who had been lifelong roommates, have been separated. And yet they coupled back in London for winning not only the Wimbledon doubles title, but their 3rd gold medal in London Games. So I don't know, maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder?
Well, first of all, that Paris apartment's near the little place you have in Paris, right, Kevin?
I'd like to keep that under wraps.
I understand. Well, I needed to let the world know, but these two have been pretty much attached at the hip. So close in age, Venus and Serena. Venus always playing the role of the big sister, and she's always been the big sister, kind of watching out for little sis.
Little sis has prospered. Serena, 3-time U.S. Open champion herself, as Venus tries to just move through very quickly and almost coming up right on a minute here in this opening game, trying to hold it low. Says no.
Love
to start this match, and that's the type of pressure, big cut she took on that second serve that we expect to see from Bethanie.
Absolutely, and she does have that capability. When she goes, she is not a player who holds anything back. She goes for a shot. You know what she's going to do. She's going to be as aggressive as she possibly can be. Difference than what we see a lot from Bethanie. Showing that she's willing to take some pace off, hitting that slice backhand, probably strategically thinking, I may not be able to out-hit Venus in backhand-to-backhand rallies, but if I mix things up and slice in a few, I could draw a few unforced errors.
Start, we find ourselves at deuce. Mattek-Sands continues to put pressure on Williams through 3 points of her own.
Both these players off the ground, the backhand is the strength, the forehand's more vulnerable. We'll both hit winners, but we'll both make more unforced errors off the forehand.
Bethanie Mattek-Sands.
These are the situations that Bethanie Mattek-Sands has to take advantage of. When Venus gives her a point, throws in a double fault, gives her that break point opportunity, got to take advantage.
Rushing to the net off the return, and Mattek-Sands gives Venus something to think about. 5 straight points.
First game.
40 love down. She is on the board first with a break of serve. Now Bethanie Mattek-Sands, we chronicled through the year how difficult it's been for her with lower back problems, hip problems, not really able to stay on tour for any significant length of time and produce any good results. But that's in lieu of just one thing. She did win a major title this year. She traveled down to Australia, partnered up with the Romanian Horia Tecau, and they walked away with the title.
They most certainly did, and she's always, you can never take this away from her. She is a Grand Slam champion, and I've always felt that if anyone deserves a Grand Slam title, it is Bethanie Mattek-Sands. I thought she really had an opportunity in her career either to win one in doubles or in mixed, unlikely in singles, but I think she's that good in doubles, and she could have won a slam, and she has.
Next champions of the Australian Open 2012.
15-7-year-old
has yet to win a title in singles. She has reached a couple of finals over the course of her career, 3 to be exact. She loves the clay courts in Quebec City, 2008 and 2010 runner-up. And last year, reached the final in Hobart in the warm-up.
13
Major that's held in Melbourne. Each time coming up short 0 for 3 in finals. Have to appreciate though her direct style, both in her play and her demeanor and personality. Even before the match, she was speaking in the interview in the hallway just outside the locker room, and most players sort of couch their answers in, well, I don't want to give too much away. I'm worried if my opponent is standing too close to my ear. Now Bethanie Mattek-Sands, she broke it down. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to come to the net. I know she's got power. I've got power.
You want to challenge it?
She puts it all
Miss
out.
Williams is action
And
call
she knows
on the left baseline. The ball was called out.
Maybe is going to challenge that. Thought she had that backhand.
Here's our first chase review.
Goal stance.
40-love.
Williams has 2 challenges remaining.
One of her 3 challenges in the set. It's a run of 8 straight points for Mattek-Sands, though still in good shape. A point away from 2-love and consolidating her break of serve.
Game Mattek-Sands.
And there is the consolidation. Mattek-Sands takes the opening 2 games.
And this is the perfect
Mattek-Sands
start
wins
for
2 games
Bethanie
in a row.
Mattek-Sands.
First set.
And aggressive doesn't always mean hitting the ball hard. For her, aggressive means what we've seen. Throwing in a couple of those slices. You saw that chip and charge coming in behind, trying to come in behind Venus's second serve when she had the break point and got the error. That's what aggressive is going to mean for Bethanie. Yes, hitting some big shots, but also figuring out a way to get in and put some pressure on Venus. When it comes to power, Venus is way ahead of Mattek in that department. But for the variety, that's where Bethanie's got to stand out in this match.
15-love.
Venus Williams, known in the last couple of years for really filling out the schedule, padding it with a lot of the smaller tournaments. In fact, both Williams sisters have seemed to prolong their careers by just sort of finding the tournaments that work for them. But it hasn't been of her own accord dealing with the Sjogren's syndrome. This is just her 9th event since last year's US Open second round. So eased her way back in March, starting in Miami. Lost in the quarterfinals to Agnieszka Radwanska. Found her way through to the Elite 8 in 4 previous 8 tournaments, which is pretty good results, all things considered, after having been away for so long. In dealing with how the body is affected by the Sjogren's syndrome, how to alter her diet, her fitness regime.
Kevin, I believe that what Venus is doing is so remarkable. And this comeback this year,
40-love.
if you think about it, these symptoms dated back to 2007 or so, when she just started not feeling well and couldn't figure it out. Why am I so tired? you know, why do I want to sleep? I mean, all of those things and no answers. And then finally, last year, got an answer. And now there's a plan of attack. This is how we're going to deal with this.
Game Williams.
Short return, a hold of love. Venus is on the board, though down a break.
Mattek-Sands leads 2-1.
First round.
First set.
Bethanie Mattek-Sands serving 2-1, opening set.
15 love.
Has been a difficult year. We mentioned first of all the injuries. Has to deal with her back, foot injury, hip injury. She had to withdraw from Doha early in the year with a low back injury. Also out of Memphis because her left hip started to bother as well as the lower back. By the time she got the back sorted out in Charleston and Miami, her left hip still hurt. Had to withdraw from those.
Well, this, wow,
15 all.
USTA has the wild cards that they can dole out. If ever there was a wild card that was well deserved, it is to Bethanie Mattek-Sands, who has struggled with the injuries, but has been such a trooper, and she has been a great Fed Cup player for the United States and has done so much for tennis in this country that being rewarded, you couldn't imagine them not rewarding her with the wild card. Ranking is dropped. She's ranked 212 right now, but we all know that there aren't 211 players better than she is in the world. And she's saying to Venus, if you can come up with that, then you're just too good. But I've got to keep coming at you and forcing you to come up with something special. And you maybe a little wing and a prayer there, but also of a pretty well thought out in terms of a strategy. That nobody blankets and covers the net like Venus Williams with that reach and has so much strength. You see, she could take that hand off the racket with that one-handed volley and still get plenty of power on that.
Double break point to get back on serve. Crouching in along the baseline, Venus approaches.
Game Williams.
She's given back the break of serve.
2 games all. First set.
4 games. USOpen.org. It's your exclusive online home for real-time scores and stats. You get your daily video highlights there. You have press conferences you can access, official US Open merchandise, and so much more. You're outfitted for the rest of the year, aren't you? Get that at the official tournament website, USOpen.org.
Yes, well, all those things you want for me.
Just got so many nice things that you look good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Venus Williams coming off a nice semifinal run in Cincinnati just a couple of weeks ago.
15
If
love.
there's anything that's a testament to how hard Venus works to maintain the show and deal with the energy issues, it was that tournament. She needed 3 sets to get past Maria Kirilenko, 3 sets to get past Chanel Skeepers, and 3 sets to get past Samantha Stosur in the quarterfinals. 3 of her first 4 matches went the distance before she succumbed to Lee Nunn in 3 sets in the semis.
She just fought and figured out a way to win a set, and that it was pretty remarkable unto itself. But it's just so wonderful to see Venus. She feels so much better, feeling good, and maybe we're gonna the next year or so gonna get a sense of when Venus does feel good. That is the type of tennis that she's still capable of playing.
A bit over aggressive Mattek-Sands. That's the
40 love.
Take it early and it jumps above the shoulders. That's a difficult place to control a tennis ball. It's Venus looking to run off 3 straight games. And does so. This at love.
Game Williams.
3-2. Pair of breaks.
Williams leads 3 games to 2.
Puts herself
First
in the
set.
lead. Now she has pushed herself back in front with 3 consecutive games. Bethanie Mattek-Sands steps to the line. I mentioned about her getting a wild card coming into this tournament, currently ranked 212th in the world. That wild card recognition for past efforts, getting up inside the top 30 back in July of last year.
Love
Career.
15.
Trying to make the most of it as Williams steps in, so devastating with the return. Venus already 6 winners. Mattek-Sands hasn't really had an opportunity to produce in that statistic.
You can see the power of Venus Williams.
Love that.
And a return like that, she's pushing Mattek-Sands off of that baseline. And Bethanie is going to be pretty stubborn. And in her mind, she knows in her mind it's, I've got to be aggressive. I've got to take it to her. But it's not that easy to take it to a player with the incredible power of Venus Williams to do that consistently.
Love 40.
The incredible reach, the way it is so hard to get a ball by her. And when she just stands in to hit that return, you're thinking, well, I can't get it by her. Maybe I should go at her. But Venus just stepping in and crushing the ball and follows it into the net. And what do you do? Acer.
You pick up your first winner of the match.
15-14.
3 break points potentially for Venus. It's overwhelming sometimes. And the return on that previous one is just devastating.
Game Williams.
And that is the break for 4-2.
Williams leads 4 games to 2. First set.
Massive cuts at the returns from Venus Williams. Now with 8 winners to just 1 for her opponent. A chance to push herself out to a bigger lead.
Well, that first game of the match, Venus was caught a little off guard with Bethanie hitting a couple slices on the backhand, chipped and charged on a second serve on break point, and got that break early. But since then, it's just been all Venus Williams' power.
And she is overwhelming Mattek-Sands. You saw the run that Venus is enjoying. She's serving well.
15 love.
Having won 9 straight points on serve, as well as now 13 of the last 16 points. Difficulty dealing at 5'6" with the ball that is kicking up about shoulder height.
But she's going to be stubborn, and she has that tendency to be stubborn. If she has something set in her mind, this is what I've got to do to beat this person, she's just going to beat it to death here.
40 love.
Venus in dominant form as her serve now just sizzling. 7 of 8 on her first serve. She's lost a total of 5 points in the set and threatening for a third straight hold headlock. This is going to be broken to start the match.
Game Williams.
With emphasis.
New ball skills.
Venus Williams in total
Williams
control.
leads 5 games
Just over
to
20
2.
minutes into the opening set inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. 5 straight games. Dazzling serve. Looking to break to take the opening set as Mattek-Sands steps in. Serving 2-5.
15 love.
Ultimate position to be in. Williams can make it a third straight break to take the set. Serve first to put herself in that lead position in the second set. Nothing she'd like better than an easy day at the office here on this first Tuesday of the 2012 US Open.
See Venus standing in threatening.
15.
Venus gets dialed in and gets in a groove off the ground. She is just so difficult to play against. She's virtually impossible to get the ball by. Right now, she's in one of those grooves. Unfortunately for Mattek-Sands, she didn't get a match. She got that wild card, but didn't really get herself a match that she could work her way into the tournament because she hasn't played a ton of matches, especially at this level, in months. So Venus just not giving her a chance to breathe right now.
Mattek-Sands played 3 of the 5
13.
events leading into the US Open that make up the North American Hardcourt Summer Series. Lost her opening round match in Montreal, picked up a pair of wins in Cincinnati before losing to Lavakova. And lost her first round to Sarah Ronnie.
14.
3 entering this tournament. Not a lot of match play to really build any momentum on.
Game Mattek-Sands.
The hold of serve. We're at 15:30 start.
Williams leads 5 games to 3.
Venus
First
to
set.
earn the set on her own racket if she wants to take a 1-set lead. Venus in her 14th appearance at the US Open has never lost in the opening round here. 13-0.
Let's first service.
Mattek-Sands, you're just hoping for some looks at some second serves this game. Some chances to get into the points. Because a situation like that where Venus out wide
15 love.
hits a wide serve at 101 miles an hour with that incredible angle, that's just not giving you a shot.
Mattek-Sands is challenging the call on the right center service line. The ball was called in.
Well, Vazdaraki instructs everyone it's time to look up towards the scoreboard. So you at home, just watch your screen as the chase review is coming on the call that was called an ace. Mattek-Sands
Goal stance.
differ, but she will be proven incorrect.
30 love.
4th ace for Venus, 2 points from the set.
40 love.
They get 5 aces and triple set points.
Mattek-Sands has 2 challenges remaining.
121 miles an hour with some emphasis there.
Four safety. game at full set.
Overpowering run,
Williams.
6 of the last 7 games for Venus Williams. 29 minutes. She's 1 set to the
By
good
6
in the
games.
opening round. Her first serve, not a problem. Backing it up nicely, 7-11 on the second. As the second set begins, Mattek-Sands at the top of your screen. Venus Williams has
15
that serve,
love.
which has been reported as the fastest of all time in women's tennis. When it's being effective and sharp, she is as good as anybody still. No matter what you say about the 32-year-old in whatever condition, that is the basis and foundation of her skill set. And that's bad news for Bethanie Mattek-Sands today.
It is, and what's important for Mattek-Sands is what's in front of her right now, and it's this first service game. Got to figure out a way to hold it. In this circumstance at the moment, there's not much you can do. Venus
15
is
on.
dialed in. She's dialed in on her serve, on her groundies, on her return. So you've just got to try to keep it close enough, and then hope that this level drops. That Venus does start to make some mistakes, starts to miss some first serves, and gives you some sort of a shot. But the tennis
13.
has a lot of confidence. Played so well in Cincinnati. Had some big wins. Her first big wins in singles in a long time. And of course, winning that Wimbledon doubles, then winning the Olympic doubles. That it just can't hurt your confidence in any way, shape, or form.
Serve and volley from Mattek-Sands. Is choosing to do so.
40, 15.
Adding to her lead.
Game, Mattek-Sands.
Mattek-Sands puts the opening set behind her. Gets the hold to begin the second.
First game, second set.
Ahead to what Mattek-Sands has before her. Try to fight back from a set down. Let's look back. And you mentioned a moment ago that Mattek-Sands has to hope that Venus falters a bit on her first serve and doesn't get as many in. 56%. Venus would actually like that to be higher.
Absolutely. But look at the winners to unforced errors. 13-6. That's a huge statistic. When her winners are far outreaching the unforced errors, you know that she's playing some of her best tennis.
Putting the pressure on, Mattek-Sands only able to register 2 winners in the set. Venus continues, tries to continue momentum that's propelled her to a 1-set lead. First serve missing the mark, but she got it in the opening frame, 12-14.
Love them.
She's human.
She is. And I'll just tell you one story. So many years ago, when I had just retired, maybe a couple of years retired, Venus was a baby, maybe 14, 15, and we played a little doubles exhibition with 2 centers. And it was astonishing.
15. No.
The power that came off of the racket, I had never seen power like that, and I had played with a lot of the great players of my generation, but this was something that was a different level. It was unbridled power, but you just knew that this was something very special and that she was just going to be spectacular. And the center never hit her. For me, they knew, but from her, they didn't. Whoa, this is amazing.
We'll take it easy on you girls. Whoa.
Ouch. 30, 15.
Uniqueness of the Williams sisters, not just 2 tremendous Grand Slam and Olympic champions in one house, but they did so in such an unconventional manner.
40.
Yes. But I will say on top of that, she was an absolute delight as a person. And I think that as she has matured and that has shown through these years, and I think everyone's just so happy to see
Game Williams.
And is producing some of this kind of hits. She doesn't need to ever play again to prove anything, but she wants to prove something to
second.
herself, and that's just as important.
Feeling good and able to produce. That serve is just scary. She's starting to show signs of what we saw yesterday from both Maria Sharapova, who was impressive in her debut, as well as Victoria Azarenka, who was ruthless, dropping just one game in her opening round match. Both did well, served efficiently. Venus is showing the same signs today.
Lovely.
We still have yet to see Sister Serena take the court. Most people, prognosticators, seem to be indicating they think this is Serena's U.S. Open to win. It's interesting how the effects of her illness and what she's had to go through seem to, not that she hasn't been a popular player before, but fans seem to be more drawn to Venus. There's a sympathy level, but there's also an appreciation for all the hard work. Maybe empathy is a little better for it than something less.
15.
Fans flock to her.
It's an appreciation for the determination, and as I was just trying to say, she doesn't need to prove anything as a tennis player. She's done it all. She's won 7 Grand Slam singles titles, Olympic gold singles, a couple of doubles. She's won so many Grand Slam doubles titles with Serena. But it's that there is this desire that she's showing everyone, you know, I love the game. It's not about wins and losses. It's about the fact that I want to be out here because I love to play the game. That she still does.
That just puts her in line with her sister Serena, who's 30 years old, and the great success that she's enjoyed. She certainly doesn't have anything to prove. She's had an unbelievable year, and Sharapova the same way. Sharapova, after that shoulder surgery, could have
30, 40.
the rest of the laurels and her riches, of which she has plenty of both. So it's great to see this trifecta really showing on the latter stages.
And
They still have the fire.
Yes, and they're all business women.
Chance for a break for Venus. And the break.
Game Williams.
Might be the only padding she needs the way she's serving today. Venus Williams in control. Up a set.
Williams
and a
leads
break.
2 games to 1
Opening
in
round
second
match.
set,
Mark
and by
Brad
1 set
Stadium.
to love.
Herself with 2. Later tonight, Novak Djokovic, the defending men's champion, and Venus's sister Serena round out the play, 3-time champion and last year's runner-up. Stars are out even during the day here inside Arthur Ashe Stadium Monday too.
Yes. Bethany must have been thrilled to see Venus hold up 3 balls. To add another 10 miles an hour to that first serve, but she gets a double fault.
Lovely.
That's exactly what you want to see when you realize the way Venus is serving today. Now she does have a trio of double faults to go along with her 5 aces, but there has really not been any major threat against her serve since she was broken to start the match. In fact, only once has Mattek-Sands been able to get the games at 30 on her side against Venus's serve since. It's been all about what Venus Williams has wanted to impose upon Mattek-Sands since the onset.
Here's an opportunity. That was a great return of serve for Mattek-Sands, so that can give her a little bit of confidence.
A little bit of hope. Maybe a second break chance.
15, 30.
And I think for Mattek-Sands to see what Venus has gone through and that she has come back, and Bethany has had so many injuries, and that can be so frustrating, but maybe she's thinking, to stay healthy, I'm going to have another
30.
Just so placid, never really feeling, you never last until the end. She jumps into light or just walks off and offers us on her way. Here she is facing love 30, then all of a sudden immediately right back in it with 2 straight points and 30 all. No sense of panic with Venus.
And you see Mattek-Sands trying to be aggressive, stepping in to try to hit that
40,
center,
30.
not let that kick up high on her backhand. But when you're stuck in, look where she's stuck. She's stuck right in the middle of the court, and they're out of position. Venus senses it and just drills this forehand. But it is interesting. You say placid. Venus's personality so much more so than Serena. Two sisters that are so
Game Williams.
different personalities.
No question.
Serena,
Williams
you know
leads
every
3 games to
thought
1. Second
she
set.
hides nothing when she's on the court.
It's all out and exposed with Serena. Venus keeps it all inside, and she has to be delighted in there, dancing around because she knows she's halfway to the second set. Meanwhile, we also want you to stay connected to the US Open through all of your favorite social media platforms. How about your Facebook, maybe your Twitter, your Pinterest, your Foursquare, your Google+, your Tumblr, and more. Just visit usopen.org/social for more information. That's usopen.org/social.
Tumblr, I missed that.
Gotta get it all.
My mind.
Big stars in the Twittersphere.
This is a big star in the tennis sphere. Venus Williams and
Love 15.
taking that serve and punishing it. Venus is playing like this. You need some help. You need her to give you something,
Love
to
13.
give you some points. And Venus being extremely stingy right now.
And she's only allowed Mattek-Sands just around half as many points in the match. Wind starting to pick up, blowing in the face. As if she doesn't have enough to contend with. Such as that. Extension and the pass.
And
Love
what
14.
we talked about earlier, when Venus is good, she is impossible to hit through, hit that ball by, because she has that incredible reach, and she just blankets that baseline, and that is an absolutely perfect example.
Just to get to it, impressive, but to produce the shot that came clean off the racket. Now we'll look at a second serve with triple break point for 4-1.
Game Williams.
She's punishing the tennis balls. She's punishing Mattek-Sands. She's looking to just move through in dramatic fashion.
Williams
Venus
leads 4
Williams
games to 1. Second
total
set.
control in the opening
And by
round.
1 set to love.
9 total points on serve through the 14 games played.
Fifteen love.
That finger, which you see her shaking her hand off. And if you're Venus, what do? I would test out this backhand. Because you need that. She needs that left hand to hit the backhand. Not that you want to be rude.
15
I
love.
mean, there's a time where it's acceptable.
That seems to be the word of the early stages of this tournament, on the women's side especially. These top seeds have been absolutely ruthless. Ranking losing 1 game, Sharapova dropping 4. I don't think anybody's expecting Serena to show any mercy
13
way later tonight. The match at the Stanford Fund a little over a month ago. Serena coming off her 5th Wimbledon title, traveled all the way across the U.S. Not to mention the Atlantic
30-all.
This may be one of the best shots we've seen from her footwork. It's a do-or-die shot. She's way off the court, but gets enough on it. And she hits the winner.
This is your fourth of the match. Another great body set from Venus.
40-30.
Mattek-Sands more or less just defending herself.
From injury.
Yeah.
From another
Get the
injury.
return.
Yeah.
And moves out of the way that time.
Game Williams.
Venus
Williams leads 5 games to 1. Second set.
Would you know why the scoreboards diagonally from me are not working? The little ones.
So Venus Williams, who has broken Bethanie Mattek-Sands 4 times today, just one more break. She's into the second round. Mattek-Sands suffering from an injury on the left index finger.
15 love.
The hand that she holds the racket with one hand, but it does impact
Yes.
the two-handed backhand. But really, the biggest impact has been the balls that have been coming off of the serve of Venus Williams today.
And there's a bit of a wind today, and those are the types of things that affect Venus's serve, but it's been really
15-all. 15-30.
Venus has been stingy on both. 2 of 14 for Mattek-Sands.
15-14.
Venus knows full well. Double match for her.
nicely done. You know, Matthew Pickman was hoping that she would be able to show
30-14.
everyone that that's the type of tennis she is capable of. Really nice approach shot, gets some good spin, and then you can see very confident volley, whether it's the swing volley, whether it's the punch volley.
Very little margin for error.
Yes.
She just clips the paint. Match point 2 is erased. Venus doesn't look too happy about it. Wants to be back in the locker room preparing for the next match on Thursday.
That little shake of the head says, come on, don't give her any hope.
Advantage. Williams.
Third try for the second round for Venus Williams.
Use.
Mattek-Sands scrapping, hanging on. Three match points saved. Second serve has been pretty dismal for Mattek-Sands. Now 4 of 18.
Advantage, Williams.
Success rate. Venus just making her pay.
It's set up, and Venus, she's just chomping at the bit, waiting for that serve. It's so intimidating when you see Venus standing in there a couple feet inside the court. You know what's coming at you.
She makes no bones about it. I'm going to step into the booth. Need to be back behind the baseline. I'm imposing myself upon you. Second serve. Fourth match point. Not just yet.
Use. Advantage, Williams.
Trouble. And how many chances are you going to give Venus Williams? Mattek-Sands says, I'll give you a fifth try with her second double fault. Battling, scrapping so hard just to save some face in the seventh game. But Venus, is this where she puts it all away?
Game, set, and match. Williams. 2 sets for love. 6-3, 6-1.
Points.
Ladies and gentlemen,